One of the most common questions I get asked is it normal to be busy all the time? And if you're like me, being busy just seems to be part of my everyday life. But is it a problem? And if it is, what do we do about it? What if I told you the answer actually comes down to just two things? The first one comes down to our own self-worth. So busyness is different than being productive. I'm sure you felt in your daily experience where sometimes you're feeling like,
oh man, I was so busy, but I didn't get anything done.
Versus,
oh man, I was so busy and I got everything checked off my checklist.
There's a very different way of being busy. The thing that makes the difference is really our belief. And if we have a belief that being busy equates to our self-worth or what others will think about us, then that's where the challenge comes in. Because now we're not getting things done, we're not being busy to get things done, we're being busy in order to have some outside force tell us we're doing a good job, to tell us that we're doing enough, to tell us that who we are is good enough. Another way that being busy shows up within this realm of self-worth is FOMO. Fear of missing out. Sometimes we might create opportunities in our lives to be busy or overly busy because we don't want to miss out on what's happening. We don't want to be the one that didn't know, the one that got left behind. So we might overbook our calendars in an attempt to not miss out, because if we're not there, maybe somebody will forget about us. Another reason we might try to be busy all the time is if we ever feel guilty for not doing something. So in childhood, this might happen where every time you were trying to relax, someone said, hey, you're not doing anything, go clean something up. We're taught that we should always be doing something, and if we're ever just taking time to relax, taking time to chill, then we're not being good enough. And so we start to feel guilty, and we create this system for ourselves where we're constantly busy so that on the off chance anybody were to see us, they see we're busy, we can feel good, we don't have that guilt of not doing anything. Again, when we are looking at being outside of ourselves and getting these messages coming from other people, sometimes in childhood we learn these lessons where our caregivers who were loving us and very well-meaning made us responsible for their emotions. Maybe they told us that they were proud of us for the things we did, for the accomplishments that we did. Maybe they told us they loved us when we performed well and we were getting the trophies, and so we learned to equate doing something and being busy with love. And then maybe they took that love away when we didn't accomplish, when we didn't do the things. So we can learn these messages very early on that are just a mistaken belief that we create, where we equate being busy to being loved, all in this attempt to accomplish the goal and get the gold star. The second thing that being busy is tied to is usually some kind of trauma response. We sometimes will create busyness in our lives as a coping mechanism because we have this belief that being busy keeps us safe. So we have this idea that if we're busy enough, we never actually have to sit in that quietness. Because if we were sitting in that quiet with just being alone with the thoughts in our heads, it can be overwhelming. If we've got traumas that we never actually dealt with, to sit alone in that quiet, we can feel things start to come up and it can be very overwhelming. And we haven't really been trained how to turn down those voices or turn down those moments in order to deal with them one at a time. So we create busyness in an attempt to keep us safe from feelings that would otherwise be overwhelming. We might also keep ourselves busy because we learned lessons early in childhood where something happened and it didn't feel safe to express. So we keep ourselves busy so that we don't have to actually dig in and process that old emotion. So here's the good news. Now you're older, you're bigger, you're stronger than you've ever been before, and you can help that younger part of you and the present you. This busyness does not have to rule your life. And you might be wondering, why is it even a problem? What if I just stay busy? Do I have to look at my belief systems? Do I have to heal this trauma? That's going to be up to you. But I can tell you that it is a problem if you don't do something to care for yourself, because being busy puts our nervous system on overload, and it can wreak havoc on us. We can end up with all kinds of physical ailments like nerve issues because our energy system is constantly being bombarded with cortisol and all those chemicals that are keeping us going, and we're not meant to, as humans, be going that much. We're meant to be able to have times where we can sit down, relax, and be in the quiet space. And it's also important that we avoid burnout, because if we're going, just like a car that you don't put gas in, it's going to run out at some point. So being able to take care of ourselves before it turns into something else is going to be a huge benefit. So what do? If you are ready to stop being busy all the time and to start caring for yourself, what I would invite you to do is find somebody who is trauma informed. With all the different therapists and coaches and healers out there in all the different modalities, there are many people who are now trauma informed. What that means is that they know how to specifically work with traumas that have come up in early childhood, in utero, and even generational trauma that's been passed down. So as you're looking around for the person in the modality that's going to be the right fit for you, if you find someone who's trauma informed, that's my go-to suggestion. What they will do is actually help you rewrite the belief systems that you created in that early childhood experience. So the idea is you get to release those old belief systems, heal them, and then create a new belief system that is going to be supportive for you. It might include being allowed or giving yourself permission to not be busy all the time. It might be finding a new sense of self-worth where you're not creating love based on what you do, but rather who you are. Whatever the belief system is that was created in that traumatic experience can now be rewritten into something that's going to serve you as you continue to move forward in your life. And that's the goal, to be able to be productive in your busyness and be able to enjoy your downtime, to be able to relax, to feel safe with your own thoughts, to feel comfortable in your own mind-body experience. Thank you for joining us today. Watch the next video, Why Do I Struggle with Transitions? I'll see you over there. This has been your Ray of Sunshine. See you in the next video.